Angel Reese has gotten herself in a little bit of hot water. Angel Reese just took another L, and just when you thought it couldn't get worse, it gets more embarrassing. While Caitlin Clark is in New Orleans handling business like a pro, Angel Reese was at the Super Bowl trying to chase clout, and it backfired hard. I'm able to be versatile. I mean, obviously, I'm a fashion girly Vogue cover Met Gala committee. I just want young girls to know anything is possible. You can do whatever you put your mind to. Growing up, I was always into fashion. I was always into taking pictures, taking my mama clothes. Now she be stealing my clothes. But yeah, just being able to be super versatile, unapologetic, on and off the court, and just tapping into it. So I love the culture girl who's obviously Coi Leray is my girl. Instead of preparing for her next unrivaled game where she struggles to make a layup, she decided the best move was to show up at the biggest sports event of the year, exposing her chest, trying to steal the spotlight. Spoiler alert, it didn't work. Meanwhile, Caitlin Clark is out here getting her jersey retired, drawing more viewers than Angel Reese's entire unrivaled run. The contrast between these two could not be more obvious, and it's time we talk about it. You'd think a player struggling to make a simple layup would be in the gym. You'd think someone who was about to play another unrivaled game where nobody is watching, by the way, would be locked in, but not Angel Reese. Instead, she showed up to the Super Bowl exposing herself, trying to steal headlines. What was the goal here? To go viral, to make a statement? Whatever it was, it flopped. All she did was make herself look desperate instead of focusing on improving her actual game. She's out here chasing clout, proving once again that she's more interested in being a social media personality than a basketball player. And let's talk about the irony. She had the audacity to call out a teammate for not passing the ball when she's the biggest ball hog in the WNBA. How does that work? You don't pass. You don't finish at the rim, and now you're out here at the Super Bowl hoping for attention. Now let's compare that to Caitlin Clark. While Angel Reese was at the Super Bowl making headlines for all the wrong reasons, Caitlin Clark was in New Orleans dressed properly, handling business. She wasn't out here clout chasing. She wasn't trying to force a viral moment. She was focused on what actually matters, her career. And the results speak for themselves. Caitlin's jersey retirement event had more viewers than Angel Reese's entire unrivaled run. Read that again. People care more about a single ceremony for Caitlin Clark than an entire season of Angel Reese's so-called basketball league. That's because Caitlin Clark is about the game. She's out here breaking records, improving her craft, and making sure that when she steps on the court, people actually want to watch Angel. Reese, on the other hand, she's earned a new nickname, the Rebound Queen, because the only thing she does is catch her own missed shots. But of course, Angel Reese will spin this into another victim narrative. That's her whole brand now. Instead of actually playing better, instead of proving herself on the court, she'll sit on her podcast with her mom crying about how unfair the league is to her. It's politics, it's racism, it's sexism. It's everything except what it really is, her own lack of skill. Instead of working on finishing at the rim, she'd rather complain about salaries, endorsements, and anything else that gets her clicks on social media. Meanwhile, Caitlin Clark just keeps winning both on and off the court. At the end of the day, the difference between Caitlin Clark and Angel Reese is insane. One is focused, respected, and breaking records. The other is out here embarrassing herself at the Super Bowl, desperate for attention, while her own league is collapsing in viewership. Angel Reese can keep crying on her podcast, keep playing the victim, and keep chasing clout. But the truth is obvious. Caitlin Clark is on a different level, and the gap is only getting bigger. Caitlin Clark and Angel Reese might have both entered the WNBA in 2024 as rookies, and sure, they shared a moment in NCAA history, but that's where the similarities end. The idea that these two should even be compared is laughable. Caitlin Clark is a once-in-a-generation talent, a player whose work ethic and impact transcend the sport. Angel Reese, she's barely good enough for her own team to rely on her. Comparing Angel Reese to Caitlin Clark is an insult to Caitlin Clark. One is redefining the sport and bringing millions of new fans to women's basketball, the other struggling to stay relevant by playing the victim and chasing social media engagement instead of actual basketball success. Caitlin Clark's dedication is unmatched. She's practicing on her birthday, while Angel Reese is out making excuses. That right there is the difference between greatness and mediocrity. When Caitlin Clark steps on the court, she's locked in, fine-tuning her skills, working on her craft, and making sure she's always improving. That's why she keeps breaking records. That's why she keeps drawing massive crowds. That's why she is in a league of her own. Angel Reese, on the other hand, is always talking about why she's not getting the same respect, the same deals, the same love. But it's simple, she doesn't deserve it. Respect isn't given, it's earned, and when you're more focused on being a social media personality than actually winning basketball games, you don't get to complain when the world stops caring. For years, nobody outside of diehard fans really cared about women's basketball. The viewership was low, the engagement was minimal, and the sport just wasn't on the radar for mainstream sports fans. And then Caitlin Clark came along. Let's be real, she single-handedly changed the game. 1.1 million people tuned in to watch her jersey retirement, a college jersey retirement that's more than most WNBA games. Meanwhile, Angel Reese can't even get 100,000 people to care about her games in Unrivaled. Let that sink in, the numbers don't lie. The gap between Caitlin Clark and Angel Reese is astronomical. One player is bringing in an audience, inspiring a new generation, and making history. The other is struggling to stay relevant and blaming everything except herself for why she's not getting the same attention. Angel Reese can keep talking, keep making excuses, and keep playing the victim, but the truth is clear: she's just not that good. She might have been a dominant college player, but this is the pros now, and she's getting exposed. Caitlin Clark, she's thriving, she's in a league of her own, she's the reason people are tuning in. She's the reason women's basketball is finally getting the attention it deserves. So welcoming, and just so warm as an individual that she can have a conversation with anybody. She's cut from the same cloth as me in that regard. You know us Midwesterners, we tend to just accept everybody with open arms, and she was so kind to my family and everyone in the suite when she came to KC. So huge fans of Caitlin Clark in my family. And Angel Reese, she's just another player, one that people are already tuning out. The difference between Caitlin Clark and Angel Reese is insane, and it's only getting bigger. Thank you so much.